Hello everyone, welcome back. Just give me 1 second. I know I had to turn you down. Welcome back to another Writer's Workshop stream. We're gonna be live streaming myself working on my next book. I actually was on my way back from B College, a local college in my area, to give a signed copy of my new book to one of my old instructors. Talked with her for about like 30 minutes and we had like a very good conversation. But yeah. On my way back, on my drive home, I actually had an idea for how I could get past my wall, and today we're going to be getting past my wall. So, go ahead and check to see if the blur filter is on. It looks like it is. Great. The idea that I had... I actually want to check up on a couple things. First and foremost... I want to check to see if I am still repeating myself in the scene that I have left here. Or if the information that I'm providing in the scene is new or old. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. The interesting thing about Alice Lowe, who's gonna be like the focus character in this scene, she's actually kind of was seen like quite a bit, and she's actually like she's kind of parallels another character story, who is kind of sort of an antagonist, but it's kind of more of a character that kind of put his faith into the wrong people, and he paid for it in the end. But yeah, Alice is kind of like a very important character, and it's really just, uh, is really, is really kind of, she's really kind of meant to be like a, I guess, a foil to one character, but kind of like an important, like motivation for another character. If that makes sense. Want to review all the previous scenes? Why is this indented? Oh, well. Okay. So the last time that Alice saw Jacob was actually in his at that scene, so this does still track. Uh Oh, fuck, what did I just do? Oh, did I just zoom out? Uh, fuck, what is the command for creating an M dash? I always forget. Control, was it Control Shift minus? No? Control M? No? I forgot the command for creating M dashes. Hold on, I'm gonna need to look this up. How to create an M dash word. Control Alt minus on numeric pad. Okay, so that's what I was doing wrong. Control Alt minus on the numeric pad. I always forget commands like that. M dashes is a very helpful tool to use. It's just not something I use often in my writing, and whenever I do need to use it, I forget. M dashes are actually used only in specific situations. Oftentimes people misuse M dashes. And I should probably check to see if I'm using it correctly. A signal on abrupt break, add emphasis, or replace. Because I'm using M dash as a way to kind of interrupt a character's dialogue or replace with another dialogue. I just want to know if I'm using it correctly. Because this is something I always end up misusing, to be honest. M dash and dialogue. Yeah. Okay, so I'm using it correctly. A good pet name I can use. A nickname for Jacob to refer to Alice. Another something I often use as pet names for between lovers is to kind of use like references to animals. Like one common thing I use is little bird or little dove. Uh, what's a good nickname? for Alice. A good pet name for Alice. I think. Just do it this way. I need to pull up my notes again. Because it's been 9 years at the start of book 1, and roughly 4 months have passed since between the end of book 1 and where the story is now. I never actually stated what date it was. Never actually said what date it was when Jacob when the story actually started. Although I'm trying to make this like as line up with where I was when I was initially writing this story. Initially, book 1 is first started being drafted near the summer of 2018. So that would be, let's just say June. Let's say June of 2018. 2018 is when I started drafting this. So 4 months from June. Would be was that September, October, July, August, September? It would be in October. So it'll still be 9 years. Just go ahead and okay, so I did say 10 years before. So for consistency, I should say 10 years again. So maybe I was in a different mindset when I was writing this scene earlier. Yeah, so let's just try and be more consistent. So it'll say 10 years again because I said 10 years earlier. Any other places where I said and okay. So it's also check 9 because I also said 9 years. Okay, so I'm good. I didn't like any dialogue mixed up. So go down to the bottom. Stop it. Okay, so that's the end of this scene. So this is scene 10. Next up is scene 11, which I believe is the final battle with the main antagonist. So scene 11. It's just kind of funny to me. The issue that I was having in the past when I was trying to write this like a week or so ago, I I was repeating myself with will you just fucking stop and stay put? I was repeating myself with something within earlier plot things because I forgot that I had written the scene, a specific scene earlier, and I was using that as a motivation, as a part of the reason for Alice being there, because Alice at the beginning was someone that was initially designed to be sort of like the her character. She is the wife of Jacob Lowe, who is a son of the protagonist Alec Lowe. Jacob has been trapped in purgatory for 9 years or 10 years now, and Alice has been kind of mourning Jacob's loss in a different way than how Alec and Janet, Alec's wife, has been mourning Jacob's loss. And I was mainly just initially trying to show her as a way to show how different people process grief. But over time, like as I started developing her character, I wanted her to be to kind of have more of an important role. And I did kind of cement that role a bit in part two with the character Daniel. Daniel is a character that was in book one, who has kind of a tragic role in book two, because he kind of like parallels at the events of one of the main antagonists in part two, being the Primal Order, that is one of the focuses of the story. Daniel is a tragic character because he kind of puts his faith in the wrong people, and he kind of pays the price for it. And it's really his connection with Alice that ends up like showing growth in both of their characters. And this scene that I just wrote, I wanted it to be more symbolic. to show a reason for Alice being in the story, a meaningful reason for it to be in the story. And when I was trying to write this scene last week, the reasoning I had wasn't a good reason because I was repeating old plot elements. When I was on my way back, I had an idea for another reason, which is kind of more. It focuses is reasoned as for Jacob, rather than for Alice, but it does kind of bring closure to Alice as well. It does kind of bring closure to what Alice has been experiencing. And people reading this story when it goes released to the public, they may kind of read this as kind of cheesy, as being like over just kind of like cheesy romantic kind of bullcrap, whatever. There's nothing wrong with romance in my story, in any story, just as long as it's done well. I admittedly have never actually been in a real romantic relationship. The two relationships that I've been in have been fake, and the second one was not only fake, but it was a catfish scam that I fell victim to last year. So, unfortunately, I don't really have much experiences with romantic relationships, real romantic relationships. But, yeah. I, I have an idea of what a healthy relationship looks like, and I have been implementing that in my story. So, though this scene is maybe kind of cheesy, uh, I do think it's kind of like it kind of brings closure to both characters, so it works. I need to pull up my notes real quick, so just give me 1 second. Is this you? Yes, it is. So where is my pen? So, Jake, scene 4 is done. Up next is scene 5, the final battle between Alec Lowe and the main antagonist, Levi Beckett. I do want to add another scene, because I had an idea for something else to write, which is something I had an idea for ages ago, but I kind of forgot. So, let's change this up to 8, let's change this to 9, and for scene 7, let's do. And I also got to add another scene, so we're going to change that. So, scene 10. Levi Beckett as an antagonist in my story. I think I talked about it a few times in this series so far. He is kind of meant to be, like he wasn't. When I first created his character, actually, he, wasn't actually meant to be the former partner of Alec Lowe. When I initially created his character, he was actually going to be Alec Lowe's stepfather, or Alec Lowe's biological father. And initially, my plan was to have Levi Beckett. It would have been like Levi Lowe or something like that. Be someone that Alec killed when he was like 8 years old. His father, in the initial draft of my story, this is no longer canon. But in the initial draft of my story, Alec Lowe's father was an alcoholic. He was drunk. He was abusive. And to protect his mother from being abused, Alec Lowe shot and killed his biological father. And he was protected by the police officers that kind of arrived on the scene, and he wasn't really charged for anything because he was a kid. He was like 8 years old at the time. He was just trying to do the right thing, protect his mother, so no charges brought up. But initially, when Levi Beckett first appears at the end of book one, he was initially going to be designed to be Alec Lowe's biological father, but I changed that because I didn't like the idea of Alec Lowe being a bit guilty of patricide. So I changed that and kind of rewrote that thing to create a Levi Beckett, Alec Lowe's former partner. In this story, Levi Beckett wasn't actually initially the main villain, but he becomes the main villain by the end. He's kind of like an interesting character in that regard, in the sense that people are kind of led to believe the main antagonist can be this person, then people are think they're going to be this person, and by the end, I think people are going to be most surprised, but perhaps not as surprised that the main antagonist was actually going to be Levi Beckett. Levi Beckett has had like a lot of growth and a lot of character moments throughout the series. He has a lot of focus on throughout the series, throughout this book, and this will be the final conflict. He said, figure out what the police station was called. Central Community Police Station. Let me also see if I'm using this word correctly. I can't see the word chromas. Permeate definition. That is correct. Let's see here. Okay, see here. This is something that I'm probably gonna have to rewrite a bit when I do more research on this. I mentioned in a previous stream that I want to be able to go to like specific different locations so I can do a little location research. One of them is Las Vegas because I have a scene where Alec goes to Las Vegas. The other scene is this police station. I want to be able to tour this police station so I can get some insight of what the areas look like. I be able to visualize and depict it better as accurately as I can. The unfortunate thing is, this police station is in Los Angeles, and traffic in Los Angeles is fucking horrible. Fuck. I'm probably gonna have to, when I contact a police station, a police officer that works in that place, I'm gonna see if I can get permission to go there and tour the building on his permission. But I'm probably gonna have to leave like really, really, really early to avoid traffic. Probably like 3 o'clock in the morning, to be honest. The problem is, closer, it'll probably take like 4 hours for me to get to LA. I think rush hour is at 8 or 9, maybe 7 or 8. So I need to get there before rush hour kicks in when everyone is going to work. Because if I don't, I could be stuck in traffic for hours. Anyway, let's keep going. Uh, Control Alt minus. This scene might kind of come off as Levi kind of being suicidal, because a scene that I had an idea of is Levi is the main antagonist, is trying to force Alec uh to kill him as a way towards gaining victory. And the idea behind the scene is he's basically giving Alec Lowe an ultimatum that this course of the story, Levi Beck has been poking holes at the problems within the Hyde Agency, and how Hyde agents, they view themselves as kind of like being the top of the food chain. They are always either killing demons or capturing them. They don't really see demons as some people that kind of like struggle or whatever. They don't really see like the human side behind demons. And he is basically trying to prove to Alec that he is just the same as any other Hyde agent. So he is basically in the scene, he's basically trying to force Alec Lowe to either kill him and prove his, or capture him and kind of prove his point about the Hyde agency. And this scene is going to go in a completely different direction. And this is actually going to be one of the first instances where a character is going to be, an antagonist can not only be spared, but redeemed. Not immediately, but this is the starting point. This is why I think that Levi Beckett will actually be probably one of my strongest antagonists of this up to date as of right now. I actually think he might be like a better antagonist than Spade from book one. Spade was admittedly just not really as well of a designed character, in my opinion. Like at the beginning, he was kind of evil for the sake of being evil, but didn't really start like adding depth to his character until part two and part three. Levi Beckett, I think, was kind of interesting from beginning to end. Hey, Sandy. Nothing much, just trying to finish up the scene. I'm feeling fine. I just got back from a college to give a signed copy of my book to my old instructor. Let's see. Uh, Happy Thursday, thank you. Happy Thursday to you too. Doing good so far. let's see here. What are you up to today? I'm just trying to like finish up this final confrontation with the main antagonist for this uh outline. I'm gonna be wrapping things up. Finally managed to get past my wall, so able to write again. Let's see here. The Oh, is your book, by the way? It's going pretty well. I was just about my published book. But so far, like both are going pretty well. Let's see. I am almost done here. I'm worried that this scene might kind of fall flat for some readers. It's something I've been wanting to do since the beginning, since I first started working on this story. Like the penultimate scene, like where exactly I want this character to go. But I get the feeling people may read this scene and it may not resonate the same way with them. Let's keep going. I'm beginning to have like a few people review this story before it's published, so hopefully if there's any problems with the scene, if I need to expand on some things or take some things out, I can do that. It is nowhere near the final draft. Hopefully it doesn't fall flat. Hopefully the scene lands for most readers. Okay, let's see. My chair keeps on squeaking. Okay, okay, uh, okay, so uh, that's not really an ad, it's a, whatever it's called. Uh, Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I'm literally right at the end of this now. Uh. Okay, so that does it for the scene. See. This scene is now done. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 scenes left. 4 scenes left, and this outline is finished. Fucking crazy, man. Scene 11. We'll be starting scene 12 next time. Right now, I am gonna be wrapping things up. Got past our block. We got through the final confrontation with the main antagonist. This is a great stopping point. If you are remotely interested in what you see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be played for 1% completion. I'm gonna be streaming Far Cry 4 from its completion on Fridays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be streaming Just Cause 1 for the final time on Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be streaming Borderlands 3 for 1% completion on Sundays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. In addition to that, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be hosting Writers Workshop streams where from 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be working on my next book. Wednesdays will be a Writers Analysis streams where from 1 p.m. to an undetermined amount of time, I'm going to be analyzing aspects of my recently published book. This coming Wednesday, I'm going to be analyzing the organization, the Hyde Agency, what exactly they are, how long they've been operating, just pretty much everything you can possibly know about the Hyde Agency and their role in my story. That's going to do for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.